Welcome to learning video. Hi, I am Dr. Swapnil. I am presenting case of Mr. PJ. It will continue for next 5 days. Mr. PJ, 59-year-old, is a known case of cholelithiasis since past 2 years. He also has mild OA. There is past history of jaundice 30 years back and one episode of urinary tract infection. He is married and has 2 daughters. Otherwise, he is healthy in general. His job involves supervising and coordinating lot of work with irregular timing and lot of stress and strain. He smokes and drinks occasionally. He suffers from URTI occasionally and he responds to Hipparsal during his acute episode of URTI. He gets backache due to overstrain and responds to Ruta and calcarea floor. He had once moderate attack of cholecystitis and chelidonium relieved him. His chronic remedy is lycopodium. On 30/11/2012, he came with the complaint of fever with chilliness. He had been under work pressure for last 1 month and feeling weak. He was feeling uneasiness in the abdomen and he said he used to have eructations after eating since few days. On clinical examination, per abdomen examination, nothing abnormal detected. As there were no specific indication, I gave lycopodium 1M QDS, taking into consideration abdominal concomitant, and lycopodium happens to be his chronic remedy. We will see further follow tomorrow. Thank you. Welcome to learning videos. This is first follow-up of Mr. PJ. Next day he called me on phone and he said fever continues with intermittent chilliness and he was feeling dull and his appetite was reduced. I asked for investigation and the significant finding were the CBC WBC count was increased up to 14,900, platelet was adequate, blood glucose was normal, it was 106, total bilirubin was increased up to 4.3, direct was increased up to 1.46 and indirect was also increased to 2.84. AGPT was marginally increased 39.4 and serum alkaline phosphatase was normal 84.2. It appears to be a case of jaundice underlying acute cholangitis. The symptoms noted on 2/12/2010: fever 102 degree Fahrenheit, thirst increase, stools scanty and patient feels very dull. That's why Brahmia 10M QDS was given for 2 days. After 2 days, patient was better, there was no fever, but he started complaining of burning here and there and weakness. So sulfur 1M was given as sulfur follows Brahmia well. After 2 days, he was feeling better, but weakness was more, along with flatulence. So Carbohydrate 200 TDS was given for 2 days. Gradual improvement set in and he was almost alright. Then again on 24/12/10 he presented with itching below left scapula and more troublesome was pain in buttocks and on the leg, especially on the left side radiating to the thigh, and he was unable to lift his leg. Clinical examination revealed nothing significant and here it was rather difficult to think the cause of pain. We thought it might be because of arthralgia following viral fever. Radium bromatum 30 TDS was given on the basis of our previous experience, which shows similar kind of pain was relieved by this medicine. So he felt much better after 3 days. and the remedy was continued for 2 more days. We will study further follow-up of case tomorrow. Thank you. Welcome to learning video. This is second follow-up of Mr. PJ's case. He visited me again after 2 weeks on 8/1/2011 with feverish feeling, backache, nausea and heaviness of abdomen. He was still resting at home. However, he said couple of days back he had outside food, and thinking that this might be the cause of present problem, I gave him Naxomica 10 mg 3 times a day for 2 days. He called me next day stating that his appetite has reduced and he feels nausea and there is indescribable pain in abdomen and he could not sleep at night because of pain. I asked him to take Lycopodium 10 mg, his chronic remedy, and asked him to do investigation. And the report on 11/1/2011 was serum lipase was increased up to 3880, serum amylase was increased up to 1452, and triglyceride was also increased to 238. Total cholesterol was 178, it was normal. Total bilirubin was raised up to 7.9. Direct bilirubin was also increased to 5.5 and indirect bilirubin was also 2.40. SGPT was increased to 210 and SGOT was borderline high, it was 49.2. The case has been taken different turn now. The pancreatitis is evident along with jaundice in a known case of cholelithiasis. The symptoms noted were he had chilliness in the morning and fever shoot up to 102 degree Fahrenheit, but came down gradually in the afternoon. He was feeling thirsty and retrosternal burning and eructation without much relief. Urine was yellow. By evening, his fever was normal and he was feeling slightly better under Lycopodium 10 mg. Therefore, I gave Lycopodium 50 mg QDS for 2 days. After 2 days, he was feeling comfortable. I prescribed Chelidonium 200 as it is a close analog of Lycopodium, and I was rather hesitant to give high potency of Lycopodium repeatedly. We will see the further follow-up of case tomorrow. Thank you. Welcome to learning videos. This is further follow-up of Mr. PJ. Pancreatitis supervening on cholelithiasis and jaundice. After 3 days of Chelidonium, he visited the clinic on 17/1/11. That time there was no fever. Otherwise he was feeling better. However, since morning he noticed increased frequency of urine with burning micturition. I prescribed Cantharis 200 6 hourly and asked for certain investigation. On 18/1/11, urine report was suggestive of protein plus 2, occult blood was positive, RBCs were 16 to 18, pus cells were 140 to 150, and CBC WBC count was surprisingly very high, 34,500, out of which polymorphs are 85%, and serum lipase came down to 530. In the earlier report it was 3880, and serum amylase also came down to 308. In the earlier report it was 1452. Total bilirubin also came down to 2.94 and direct bilirubin was 1.92 and indirect was 1.02. SGPT was 63. His pancreatitis and jaundice appears to be settling down, but the current major problem is urinary tract infection. with increased frequency of urine and burning micturition. Considering the amount of infection, I increased the potency of Cantharis to 1 m and repeated it 4 hourly. After 3 days, he was much better. I repeated the CBC. WBC count was 12,400. Urine pus cell came down to 8 to 10. Therefore, I continued the Cantharis 1 m for 2 more days. On 24/1/11, he was feeling better but feeling weak. He lost his weight by 4 kgs. He said, although there is no complaint, I am not feeling alright. I prescribed Lycopodium 50 m as his chronic remedy and asked for certain investigation. We will see the further follow-up of the case tomorrow. Thank you. Welcome to Learning Videos. This is last follow-up of Mr. PJ. We were rather worried that we are missing something. On 25/1/11, we advised him for CT scan of abdomen and pelvis. It was suggestive of 2 hypodense enhancing lesions measuring 1 to 2 cm are noted in the left lobe of liver, suggestive of incidental hemangiomas. 1 cm size simple cyst noted in the right lobe of liver. Gallbladder smooth walls, no obvious calculi noted. Pancreas normal. Other tests: alpha fetoprotein 2.96 normal, CA 19.9, cancer antigen 37.05 normal 0 to 30.9. From the report, one can say that pancreatitis and liver problem has settled down. The absence of gallstone on CT does not rule out its presence. The matter of worry is mild increase in CA 19.9. However, we thought it may be the present inflammatory process and we continued with the Lycopodium 50 m. After 10 days, on 5/11, patient present with a mild fever with burning at the end of urination. He responded to Sarsaparilla 200 QDS in 4 days. Mr. PJ again visited clinic on 14/11 with pain in left buttock radiating to the left thigh. This time he did not respond to radium bromatum. Investigation done on 22/11. C-reactive protein 38 normal. RA test was negative. HIV was negative. CPK was normal. ANA was negative. As the pain was not abating with persistence of urinary symptom, we refer him to urologist. Urologist examined him and diagnosed it as a case of prostatic abscess. Mr. PJ responded to antibiotic therapy which were continued for a month. He continues to be under our care. He occasionally suffers from URTI and backache and he has resumed his duties and he keeps well. This case demonstrates that one can handle such perplexing cases. However, one has to be careful in clinical assessment and homeopathic totality. In this case, we miss the diagnosis of prostatic abscess. Therefore, it is necessary to seek the advice of experts whenever it is required. Thank you.